Benjamin Bierman. I'm with the Federal Highway Administration. A part of our Resource Center, Senior Structural Bridge Engineer. I'm out of our Atlanta office. If you've ever been with me on any of my accelerated bridge construction or prefabricated bridge elements and systems, we do have a tradition. That is to pull out your right hand. You turn to that complete stranger that's sitting either to the left or to the right or in front or behind you, and you introduce yourself. So with that, let's just take a few minutes. Say hello. We're all among friends, guys. So, in our broadcast, Thomas, do we have people online? Okay, I need to remind you all that this is being broadcasted, so what we need to do is take our cell phones, we need to put them on mute, and I'm probably the worst at this, because I don't even know how these things work. If your cell phone does go off, we have to, we make you sing a song, so we get to pick the lyrics, so you have no choice. So anyway, folks who are being broadcasted in, I can't see what's going on the screen. Thomas is working that in the back, so if there's any questions, I believe he's already asked that you guys can go ahead and put a question in the chat pod as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the introduction and overview. We're going to talk about what the UHPC PB initiative is all about, or really the purpose. That's ultra high performance concrete for prefabricated bridge elements. We're going to discuss what is UHPC, reasons to use it. We're going to provide you some examples of use. And really the last bullet item that you see here is the purpose of why we're really here. I need to get your feedback on proposed deployment activities in the initiatives, and you'll see those in the handout. So before we begin, I want to ask you all this question. If you get your handout, and I believe it's the first question, let me go grab one real quick. Here we go. All right. Knowing what you know about UHPC, your business practices, your inventory, and your agency or your industry's receptiveness to adopting new innovations, how viable or how practical do you think UHPC for prefabricated bridge elements are or applications would be for your state? I'm going to ask you this question now. Go to question number 1. There's a before section. Just fill that out. And then we're going to finish with this presentation. I'm going to ask you the same question after, okay? And we'll have a little fun with this. I'll also show you the before and afters with the summit meetings that we've done to date, as well with the, I did a internal division bridge engineers webinar. It's basically just within our organization. Okay, so let's move forward. The purpose of the UHPC PBE initiative, it's a national deployment effort to address the industry's desire to improve upon the durability, the fabrication, and construction aspects of prefabricated bridge elements using ultra-high performance concrete. I guess that's sort of self-explanatory, but there it is in writing. So what is UHPC? Now I listed here 6 what I call material characteristics or material properties. It's commonly recognized as concrete with high compressive strength. That's why there's a check mark there. The 2 that follow that, ductility in the post-crack state and the ability to internally bridge cracks. And when we say that without the need for secondary reinforcement, those are what I call the unique material characteristic properties. And we're going to go into these in just a little bit of detail.
Really, you think about our game in looking at safety projects or maybe even highway investments in general, and we probably haven't changed our HSIP program for the last 10, maybe 20 years on how we do those projects. If you think about capital improvement projects, we probably are still doing those the same way we did back in the interstate construction days. We really haven't changed those processes. And so we think there is more quantitative safety analysis that we can do on our investment projects, not just safety projects, but all projects to improve those decisions that we're making. So how many states are looking at practical design? We're going to touch on some of that too and how that might fit into what we're talking about. So of course in our line of business, we're not trying to run the pennant or anything. We're actually trying to reduce those unnecessary tragedies that are happening on our roadways each and every day. So kind of an awesome responsibility. So here it just shows the transportation processes that we're talking about, and these might look a little bit different in your state, but they're probably similar to this. You see safety management on the left and then also project development. And these arrows indicate where we think these analysis tools can be inserted into your process to help you make better investment decisions. Does that mean always doing more for safety? No, it might mean doing less for safety. We think, particularly if you're looking at practical design, there's opportunities where you might be able to reduce the cost of your project while not adversely impacting safety. And so we'll talk more about that as we go. So just a couple illustrations that kind of touch on what we're talking about here. This happens to be 3 different alternatives. You see here a no-build alternative, then alternatives 1 and 2. So to the naked eye, those might seem like the same, and especially the traveling public. They might not even see much of a difference in these design options. Well, we know and they all should mention too, they all meet current design standards. So they're certainly allowed to be built, I guess, if you want to say it that way. But the predictive analysis tells us that they're going to perform very differently. In fact, alternative 2 would reduce the fatal and injury crashes by over 60% each year. And so these tools can become powerful. It helps us maybe help ourselves understand these better, might help us convince our management of what decision we should make, might also be something you could take to the public and help them make the right investment decisions. So elected officials can also be influenced by these tools. So it really helps give them a true picture of what might be happening out there.